on planet Earth. We wish you a pleasant show, and we just hope that you are going to be staying the course with us. You're going to be staying the course with the Ambazonian woman on the platform, the horizon. The horizon, what is this horizon? When you look at, when you get up in the morning, there will be a corner or somewhere directly in front of you or behind you or across of where you will be standing, where you will see the sun is rising. That is your horizon. Same thing in the evening when you are about closing down from work or from wherever you would have been doing your business. You turn to your left or your right or your wherever you will see the sun setting. That is your horizon. This is where we are. There is the time for the sun to rise and the time for the sun to set. The Ambazonian struggle has been on for a while. The sun set then. The sun is still going across with us. And with no distant time, we will turn to the left of our horizon and we will see the unjust wars just setting down on us. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, friends and sympathizers of Ambazonia, the voice of the Ambazonian woman is here again to greet you, to exchange, to encourage, and to share whatever we have and what you have out there so we can together move Ambazonia forward. My patients, Dr. Patience Abiedu, our permanent guest, is in the studio with me today, and we are going to be talking on so many interesting topics like the ASSC one. Some people have their own, the ASSC one. Some people have their own narratives about it, the positivity, and those who saw only the negatives, those who came to fight, and those who came to move Amazonia forward. And in comparison, or putting them side by side with ASSC2, you are going to have lots of fun and stories and the same thing. And we are going to be sharing with Amazonia. My patient was there live. She will tell us more, many more things. And those that attended virtually, we are going to equally be telling our story. At the same time, we will talk on this unjust war. At what point do you say this is genocide, this is war, this is an unjust war, this is an invasion? All these things, we are going to bring them in line with the Amazonia things that are happening in our home front at the international community, and what are the reactions of the different stakeholders, the different players who are supposed to be responding positively towards the Amazonia genocidal war. And notwithstanding, we are equally going to be talking on the Ambazonian flag. Is it when you have the flag around your neck, as a cap on your head, as a t-shirt on your chest, as a flag on your table, or you have it at your conferences that makes you an independentist? That and many more we shall be bringing to you today on Staying the Course to Buea, and the voice of the Ambazonian woman is here. My patients, good evening and welcome once more. You are welcome. Greet your people and let them know that you are here.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
5 on 5.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure because I turned off my computer the other day. Well, let me start by greeting our Ambazonia Restoration Forces and our refugees in neighboring country, Nigeria, and all over the world. I want to also greet all our valiant fighters, particularly. I want to use the word home front. Everybody on home front, I greet you today. I want to send special greetings to everybody who is staying the course with us. Rachel already said this is an unjust war. We have this theme, staying the course. We will have this theme, staying the course, till we get to our homeland. So, as she said, we have just come out of ASSC2, the Ambazonia Strategic Stakeholder Conference in Washington, D.C. And 3 years ago, we attended the one in Berlin. And we will be comparing and contrasting these two conferences. And of course, she talked about the flag. That's something exciting. I'm curious to see what she's going to talk about it. I'm just following the host. So I don't know what special thing she has there about the Amazonia flag. So looking forward to it, Ma Rachel. And I understand that our special ARFF. I was thinking about the alert that just went out. Rachel, maybe you will talk about the alert that we've been seeing recently. We can discuss that. I don't want to say it till the time comes. I saw a special alert about what is happening on ground zero with one of our valiant fighters. So maybe we'll let the people know so that they can protect him and protect all our children that are being slaughtered because of this unjust war. Over to you, Ma Rachel. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ma Patience. Thank you very much. Especially, it seems as if our audio is not synchronizing with our image. So,
Mm.
but most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, just bear with us. Follow the voices, not the faces. Okay. Thank you for being there again, and have a pleasant evening as we proceed. Mape, we talked about the. Let me just take it from this point. I would like us to start with the blue and white. Blue and white is the color of the Amazonia, is the Amazonian colors. And most people have taken this blue and white either as a, let me borrow this word from colonial language, but it's an international word. They've taken the blue and white color as a laissez-passer, as a pacifier, as a deceive, as a kind of painting the colors we are together. But as we usually say here, that it is not your actions, it is your intention. You remember when colonial governor John Gute was in Bamenda the other time, he had the blue and white big shaded umbrella. And some people thought that, he is now speaking the Ambazonian language. And when he equally said that, um, it is time to for you people to take our country, to take, those people, they intentionally do those things for everyone to feel that we are on the same page. But at the end of the day, you turn around, you wait for them to reflect what they even said a day before, to synchronize it with their actions and their words. You turn out that to say they just used that situation to buy themselves out of whatever they were afraid of, or what impression they wanted to create. God alone knows. And of recent, we see that the PWD Bamenda resorted to the blue and white colors, which gave some people the urge to say, oh, these are people who are standing with Amazonia, their jerseys, their ball, and whatsoever stands for Amazonia is bearing the Amazonian colors. But Ambazonian people, we want to let you know that it's not everybody that speaks your language, speaks your tongue, dresses up like you, is conveying the same message or stands for the same thing that you stand for. For PWD to have that blue, white, Ambazonian colors does not um, surmount to the fact that they have anything to do with Amazonia. This is just a bread and butter kind of sugar coating, decorating thing to say we are together. Who owns PWD? These are the questions you should be having yourself. PWD that used to be a working sector with employees that could feed families. It has been reduced to just a football club where everyone goes in there and makes their money and steps out. Who are the managers? Who owns them? Who are the players?
With the
So these are
players.
the things that we should be saying, thinking when you see somebody dressed up in the blue and white or using the blue and white Amazonian colors. This is what we mean the color of the flag. And my patience, I can imagine that you are already having so many of such circumstances in your mind. Like when people attend conferences with the flag or without the flag, or whatever they do, I would just like you to add your voice to this interpretation of the Ambazonian colors. Let people get to know that it's not everyone that carries the blue and white is conveying or um, tantamount to the cause of this unjust rule that was meted upon us. Mape, the floor is yours.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Ma Rachel, for that introduction. So I recently came across an invitation to a seminar, or one of these town hall meetings, I should say. It is slated for March 19th. I believe that is tomorrow. And this town hall thing has been going on for over a year. Most people know of it. It's by Southern Cameroon's International Town Hall. So I came across it, and we noticed that every time we've seen their flyer, I wish we could have even shared it. I'm going to send it to the technician. Maybe they can put it on the screen later on so people can see what we're talking about. But every time we see this flyer, there's no flag, there's no Amazonian flag on it, and but it's called Southern Cameroon's International Town Hall. And if you look at it carefully, you never even see the word Amazonia on it also. And this has been going on for a long time. And this particular one is the supposed to be the number 57th edition. So that means this has gone on for the 57th time. And each time there's no Ambazonian flag. Incidentally, I'll just go ahead. The guests on this particular one that is appearing tomorrow is Dr. Fidelis Atianjo and Mr. Sebastian Baruku. So this was not really the theme of our subject today. We just want to talk this one and push it to the side and then go on to more important matters. But what I want to say is this, that if you don't see a flag that signifies Ambazonia, because that's what makes you feel that you're an Ambazonia, the recognition of that blue and white flag with a little bit of yellow to it, that is like your stamp of identity. If you don't see that when anything is going on, you start having concerns. You wonder, what are these people representing? Remember CDN, Coalition of Dialogue and Negotiation. uh, there were concerns if the Ambazonia flag was there. I mean, on the official invitation, and my understanding that it wasn't there. And I need to be corrected if I'm mistaken. I stand corrected if I'm mistaken. But when we asked the question, we were told that by somebody, no, they didn't see the flag. So that tells you that there are some of these movements that are catering to the notion of Southern Cameroons, or you could even go a limb and say Anglophones, and not to Ambazonia. Remember that we have restored our nation, right? In October 17, 2017, the then President Ayub Tabe was the one who was in leadership at the time that we restored our statehood. So we are Ambazonians, the people from the former British Southern Cameroons. That's who we are. We are not just Southern Cameroonians that are considered Anglophones that could be part of the La République du Cameroon, the one Cameroon. And when you see a conference of this nature that is attended by people that at one time were staunch Ambazonians, you begin to wonder what's going on here. Why would Dr. Fidelis Atanjo and Mr. Sebastian Baruku go to the Southern Cameroon's International Town Hall, something that they would have spited last year? So this tone, this thing that has happened to our struggle, where you are separating now the true Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians from the rest, is important. It's important so that when we continue this fight for independence, we know exactly what is down in your gut. What is in your gut? What do you feel? Are you someone who is just there on the line, say, oh, I can go either way. I can be a federalist. When they give me federation, I can go there, or I can stay in the special status or one Cameroon until the time that I can be my independent Cameroonian or Southern Cameroonian or Ambazonian? Or are you somebody who, from the get go, you will not waver? You will not waver no matter what. Pay allegiance to that flag, the blue and white flag that Ma Rachel is talking about. Where do you belong?
Mape,
Yes, my dear.
exactly. The question is, how do you sit comfortably on a table in a conference room where they seem to be talking about you and you do not see your symbol? There is nothing that represents you where you are sitting. There's nothing that tells about you. You know, they call your name, they just come, for example, they say patience, patience. Before you will know, about 5 or 10 patients will stand up. Or they come, they say Rachel, Rachel, Rachel in a big crowd. Maybe about 10 or 20 Rachels are going to stand up, you know, and then they'll say, who is who? The Rachel belongs to everybody and to nobody. But when you start going by what identifies us specifically to our specifics, you see, if they just say Mary Ngum, there'll be a Mary Ngum that is going to stand up, or maybe two of them will stand up, but no problem. Then there will be another further identification. Mary Ngum, Tabi, there will only be one Mary Ngum, Tabi, that is going to bear that. So my point here is, how comfortable could this gentleman, I don't even like talking, Mape, me, I don't like talking about
People.
people, because
Yeah.
but sometimes we are so pushed to the wall that you see that you are just forced to be talking about calling people's names, especially like somebody like Dr. Tianjo. I started working with him since in the first stage of HSS, when Kalesh Bongo was still our HSS, the SOS for HSS. He was the undersecretary. I was the then director of prisons. So we work together hand in hand. Even in this present government, he was still the undersecretary under Dr. Tita. And then I was still then the director of prison before I was called to the women's department. These were two entities that didn't see eye to eye, Dr. Tianchong and Dr. Tita. But at some point, they found themselves uniting until Dr. Tita came back home. It's so sad at the same time. They find themselves agreeing, and Dr. Attenjo was the one ready to even swear in Dr. Tita. This is where the Bible says even the Jews and the Philistines, they were never friends. But when it came to their people that had leprosy, all of them were condemned to the same region. So when you see two people who could not meet eye to eye in a very peaceful atmosphere to work up things, and then at the same they go and be members in the same camp, you begin to ask yourself, what have they really been working for? It's the same scenario when somebody like Dr. Nick Santos, who will not see eye to eye with Khaled Bongo, but at the
Yeah.
same time, they became very good friends at the AMPC conference. Somebody like me, I have so many deja vus that when I see people just acting in a funny way, I just say, could it be a deja vu? Because there's hardly anything that we've not seen in this our present dispensation, when as far as our struggle is concerned. So for me to see him now, Dr. Attention to be specified to attend a conference as you send the flyer to me. I've seen it. My first thing is I look at the logo that is up. It's a kind of another logo of SC, of the Ambazonian of Southern Cameroon, where instead of the dove to be looking left, to be flying towards the right, this dove of theirs on that logo that they have is flying to the left. I begin to ask myself, I said, do we really attend things? Do we look at signs, symbols before we react, or we are just happy that we've been called to come and talk in some places? The thing that I'm just adding my voice to this point that you raised because Dr. Chanja is somebody I know I've worked with, and to see him going the way he's been going from the Momo crisis to the other issues that he's involved, and now he's out of a context where there is no even an Ambazonian flag where he's sitting. It begs for people to begin to ask the question, where are these people going? Please, ladies and gentlemen, don't get us that why did they start with the blue and white color, the Ambazonian flag, and they are now, maybe they are digressing, we are going out of context. No, we are not going. Let me just bring it to the same point. The point we are raising here is that there are times where you will sit with the blue and white flag, the blue and white color. It will not give you that audacity to say, I stand for Ambazonia, because the language you are speaking is not the language the Ambazonians are speaking. And even those who say, who are convincing some of us out there that they are for Ambazonians, at the same time, you see them comfortably sitting where the Ambazonian sign is not even there. So there's a thing that we have to be very careful when we are looking at the blue and white issue. Either it is present with another connotation or it is absent, speaking, just revealing what that person is. Sometimes
And
we may deceive ourselves to say it is for diplomatic reasons, but then before you go to diplomacy, hold your own flag to say, this is who I am. Mape, you remember the incident now where how powerful this blue and white is in its real context. Remember when Maurice Kamto refused our people in Canada
exactly,
that he will
right.
not receive them coming in as blue and white soldiers, you know. So this is a time where you will see somebody will speak a language to tell you that your blue and white is so powerful depending on the your standpoint. So when you are holding that blue and white, if your enemy is not threatened in front of you, know that you are not yet an independentist. This is what we want to say about this blue and white color and so many incidents. This is one thing. If blue and white was nothing, somebody like Professor Maurice Campbell will not say, I will not receive them coming in as blue and white. He would have just said, come. And for those who equally want to trash your blue and white, they will take it and camouflage in front of you and wear it to look like you, deceiving you. So this is where you should be able to come with the discernment to be able to know when I'm being deceived, when I'm being insulted, when I'm being trampled upon, when I'm being taken for a fool.
And one one more thing, my Rachel. They have this popular saying that not everything that glitters is gold. Um, you have to pay attention to flyers, to flyers before you attend occasions. You know, this particular flyer, although it has been something that we've seen over and over and over again, there is a caption there that we are marching onwards to our destination, Buea. When you read that, you think that we are all on the same page. We're going to Buea. But remember, let me say this now because maybe people have never thought about it. There are two ways to go to Buea. You can still go to Buea as a federalist. Let me repeat. You can still go to Buea as a federalist. Remember, at one time, we had the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, where Buea is the capital for the West Cameroons and Yaoundé for East Cameroons. So those who are federalists will argue that they are also going to Buea. Because if they were to give us a federation back, a two-state federation, then our capital is Buea. So you're going to Buea. The distinction is that we want to go to Buea where we have a blue and white flag. Ambazonia, a separate country. I hope people are understanding the distinction that I'm making here. Because this concept of coup plotters that has really happened, transpired, I'm just going to delve into that again, my Rachel, just for people to remember what has gone on. Remembering that it started about a year ago with Trump Anno telling President Sako to resign, dissolve his cabinet, and open the floor for other Southern Cameroonians, Ayuk Tabe's supporters, and all the like, to create a new government. That's when it started. Don't forget this. This is very crucial. That letter that he wrote a year ago, March 6th to be specific, to 2021, was ignored, but resurfaced afterwards for different reasons. And then it then became a problem with a bad cocoyam or bad tire to be removed. That failed, and it changed to, there's no problem with this. The main problem is not even this bad tire or bad cocoyam. The problem is with the President Sako not solving problems. And then it morphed from there, not really trying to see what problems is it that it's not solving. It morphed from there to President Sako has committed crimes, or crimes that are impeachable crimes. They could not prove what those impeachable crimes were. But with the help of someone, Cometa, who from the very get-go has never liked President Sako, and that could be seen by his actions during APNSC. Remember, APNC happened barely a year before President Sako was in office. It happened, the planning of it, President Sako came into office in about March of 2018. Then around September, October, they already started planning APNC. So you are not giving this man the time to do some significant work when he inherited a government that had negative finances, was minus in the coffers. I'm just giving this history for people to see where I'm going to, please. Just bear with me. So this commenter had already had plans in him to get rid of President Sako way back then in 2018, a few months after this guy took into office. So 2019, when they had APNC, that was a plan, but it failed because the Ambazonian people are God-fearing people. They know the truth. They follow the truth. They are not deceived. And then, so this president was impeached illegally, I should say, without the constitution being followed. But never mind, we march on to ASSC 2 because he has the support of Ambazonians, both in the diaspora and in home front. President Sako has the support. And then we now understand that the coup plotters have a new president, Marianta. The irony is this, that they gave Marianta a 6-month mandate. So when you do something that you don't follow the constitution, anything goes. You ask a question. Why was Marianta not given the same 2 years that Cometa gave President Sako? Because he's not following the constitution. Anything goes. Things come from here, come from here, anything goes. Either Maranta was given a 6 months mandate because it's a woman, so that's sexual discrimination. Or number two, there's a bigger plot. There's something looming in the background that will happen 6 months from now. Because nobody can take office in 6 months and do anything substantial. Nobody. In the United States of America, they give you 4 years. Because the first year you're just, testing the waters. Why would they give Maranta 6 months? Because something is looming in the background. Now, let me go to my take-home message. This idea about federation that was recently put in. You guys all saw the snips of the video that was sent out by Mark Barretta. They were blaming Uchiba when it was done by them to test the waters. What the Ambazonians think about federation? La République France is working on the ground with Trump Anno and some coup plotters to destabilize this government and set us up for federation. So when you start seeing all this, by the way, there are people like Fontem that are just in the background. You don't know what is happening in the background. They are there in the background doing their conniving deeds to pull us so that in the long run, the international community will say, okay, these people have a choice. The best option for them is to just go for federation to solve everybody's problem. We have to stand by our flag. This idea about federation. The coup plotters headed by Marenta at this point, and 6 months from now, if they still are able to survive, are taking you to Yaoundé, because any vehicle that is going to Buea, where the net result is a federation, is indirectly taking you to Yaoundé. Any vehicle that claims that is going to Buea, where the outcome is a federation, is taking you to Yaoundé. So my fellow Ambazonians, you got to stay the course with President Sako. He has a plan. The only reason that the international community is even listening to us now is because of the work that this president has done to make ground zero hot. I'm sorry, to make home front hot. Remember that if home
Yes.
front was not hot, they would not be listening to us.
Mm,
Thank you, Ma Rachel.
Mape.
Yes.
The thing is that some people are still wasting their time asking what happened to my trip to Boya. It is so shameful that somebody in the struggle for almost 4 years, with all the explanations, with all the manipulations that have gone on, especially this last time, when you are a president, you have all a leader, even a child in the house. You give assignments to your children. You are cleaning the floor, you cleaning the kitchen, you are cleaning the garage, you clean the car, everybody, you are splitting the wood, you're making the fire, all those things. Who cooks on what day? So some people have, I don't know. Anyway, I wouldn't say they are stupid, but is the flag that they want to continually waving up there to justify the reasons why they are doing the things they are doing to support the enemy like Republic du Cameroon. Because for somebody not to have understood that even the latest edition of coup plotting along the line in this our struggle, where people systematically demilitarized the Ambazonian struggle by collecting money from the LGAs and not delivering the farm tools that they promised to. And somebody sits and say, I am the one who brought the deal. I am the one, this Alaji Malam, whosoever, whose audio went out there that we hear, Map, let me borrow from you, Chant Anu, was telling the person on my show, call and ask me question, let them hear. I wonder how educated, sensible, honorable Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, will listen to such things and still being manipulated. Somebody calling and planning a coup, unveiling themselves. Then you will sit and start asking for my trip to Buea. It's the same thing. They went to the treasury, went to LGS and told them, we have seen where we can deliver farm tools to you. And in the course of delivering these the farm tools, they gathered money from and till today we are talking. These LJ are on they're unarmed. Yeah, they're unarmed. They don't have, And then at the same time, they consult the farmers in the various LGA to tell them that why are you staying quiet? That this IG has collected money that they were supposed to give to you, that they are not giving you. Why are you staying quiet? This is why you see most of our fighters, they group themselves in their small LGAs, and they were shouting out there that the IG is not taking care of us. We have not received anything. But at the same time, how could you that has received this money that you were going to do provision for them? Where was President Sako to come and know that? And Mape, you and I were sitting in the cabinet meeting, and each time when we ask, when are the things going to be delivered? The LGS are complaining. The farmers are asking for the tools. When are you going to deliver? Some of us, they told us that when the tools will be here, some of you will hide your faces. Until today, my face is still out here, is looking and still waiting. I'm not seeing the faces that answered me. To be precise, it was ex-Vice President Abonga who answered us in the cabinet meeting that I would say you people are just looking for trouble where there's no trouble. Where when the tools are going to come, I would see where you hide your faces. Till now, my face is out. I'm waiting, really waiting to see them. They are not here. Those are people that's the same way they systematically siphoned the money that was meant for my trip to Buea. And if not for God that had already ordained the man that is still holding, that is still talking of independence, maybe things could have been shambled. Things should have gone. We should have sunk for a very long time. But God, in His infinite mercy, to have chosen His own, that is why we are still here. So if you are wasting your time online asking for somebody that where is my trip to Buea, go and ask some of the people that were working very in close collaboration with this man that what happened to the money that you took that you were going to bring tools, and why is it that you were working in close collaboration and we said that we were fighting our enemies? When did you have that time to go and be making deals with CDC? You should be asking some of these questions to yourself so that when we come on screen, we can rub minds and share what you also discovered after asking yourself these questions, after doing your own research. It is the same thing people say he has stolen our money. President Sako don't take money for treasury. President Sako don't do this. We don't ask them say, okay, more on our own, the talker. We now try bring some one proof computer. Una the talk say President Sako na thief man. But all of una, so many thief people that go flop for one place. Now, so I write am for my LGA. I start with my own former LGA chairperson. I say, you self where you be LGA chair. You open 4 different accounts that you do receive money for 4 different people. Until you don't go, you give account for who? Okay, I come from Momo. I ask and say, Momo be draft for 2020, the highest amount of drafting. Who said the money there? You where you be chairman. Eh? Who said that money? Only because we not the fear accountability. Okay, ABC TV will be na Ambazonian television for everybody. People they contribute money today, tomorrow. People were contributing. Where is all of that money? When they want to ask you of accountability, you started shouting one cocoa, one woman must go. So now this woman still sits on the Ambazonian platform and raising money to pay the things you one cocoa yourself have you brought in to support this struggle. If you are really for this struggle, how much have you really brought in to say I am really standing for this struggle? Instead, you parted away with the Ambazonian Council. Then you people have gone behind again and hijacked the Ambazonian website plus the CID money people were paying. Very soon you will turn around to say President Sako na thief. Man, the one who na the thief from the Ambazonian people, why una no go get sense? Why can't you people just come out and be reasonable for once? Too many thief people for one place. John Egiawan took the money that he was going to do federal marshal. Until today, una not get the federal marshal. Till today, no person not there for special this thing. Una for LGA, every October they were collecting 1,000 that they wanted to equip you, dress you up for 1st October. Who start the money go? Una no go ask the people the way they work for that project there. How will they so? Too many thief people in one place, then all of them dey point one hand for that one person, and that one person is continually building the empire and fighting and calling out to international community that we want to go to Buea. Ambazonians want an independence of their own, a sovereign state. We have our independence, sovereign state of their own. Let it be recognized and let's move on to Buea. Not for us to come and sit down. Some people are deceiving you where they are. Some are hoping for federation that even La Republic is not even ready to give you. In a nutshell, in a koni way, they are taking you back to Yaoundé. Because what happened to the federation that was dissolved in 1972 with we and yes? You think they will not still find a way to manipulate you tomorrow to take the lead? Now that they know that you are wise, you are wiser than 1972, wiser than 1984. Then it's now that you go and give yourself again for guillotine. Then you think that is that time that they are going to pamper you to say, oh, come and take the federation. Oh, take your Tico airport, take your Tico seaport, take your Victoria deep sea, take your marketing board, take your Ambazonian bank. That time we no call am Cameroon bank. Take your Ambazonian bank, take your Bali airport, take your Bafut airport, take your power camp, take your Ndu estate, take your Toleti estate. You think it's that time they are going to give you a back Ambazonian people? You we should, when an opportunity comes, grab, take it and fight. This is what brings us that you should be able to identify who is holding a blue and white close to you. Blue and white, who is holding blue and white? Because they say when you want catch fowl, you go throw corn. When you throw that corner, the fowl will come the chop, 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 chop. You throw rice, chop, 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 chop. You go see am now, you fit catch the fowl. But you know some fowl then they don't get sense. When you throw the rice now, that the chop that they look for corner, either the jump small small. They jump for go because they know say na the tactic wey they be take and catch their brother last time. So we too get to be very wise.
Share.
Sorry about.
It's okay. You
So
know, Rachel, why you catch your breath? This idea of my trip to Buea, I think that's something we just get for ignorant because anybody will ask that question, say that person will not be paying money for my trip to Buea. That's the simple truth. Anybody will ask what happened to my trip to Buea money was somebody who didn't put a dime or franc inside it. Because those of us who put the money, we've seen the audit and we know what happened to the money. So that's just the bottom line. Whenever you see that kind of question, just know that a person will not be put money. But you know, even before my trip to Buea became, did they ever do any audit of Siseko Ayuktabe when he be president? All that money they will be giving because when he came here in Southern California here, we raised quite a bit of money and gave to them. Did Ambazonians ever know what happened to all the money that was given to Siseko Ayuktabe? At least for President Sako, when I know the money to go for ground zero. What did Ayuk Tabi do on the ground with
home
the money?
front.
To home front. Take us a day or two to catch that. What did he do with his own money? He was touring around the place, being presidential, in limousine and all the like, also getting a salary. And I understood that he was also getting a salary. No, I don't have the facts, but that's what I heard. You know, Anyway, that's a different topic for a different day.
Yeah, that's
Um,
another thing, Mape. Before it takes us time and whatever we are saying, Mape, it is this blue and white thing that we want to say. If you are attending a conference, please don't say because for international reason, because of say white man people that they can may just live and so. No, you go tell white man. Now why that way when you enter some place, they say, "What's your name?" You must give your name. If you not fit identify yourself when you or if you enter some place, you not see your kind. Let me put it this way: you didn't see your kind. You'll be asking, "Where are they? Am I here alone?" You have to be looking. So by the time you are invited somewhere, look at the German word is only coming in my head. Since morning I've been speaking German. Well, so you have to look around and say, um, where are my people? Where are we? You know, who is like me? You have to be looking. You can't just get somewhere and you don't see blue and white. And even if you see the blue and white, you have to look again very well. Who is holding the blue and white? And what does he have to say about the blue and white that he is holding? When he's holding it, then the next thing you listen to him talk, what is he saying? Because everyone say that the kill our people them were people that did die for ground zero. Yes, were people that did die for ground zero. What do you want for the dead people, for the people that have gone because of this struggle? What message are you how are you fighting for them? Are you fighting to restore their blood with restoration? Are you fighting to restore their blood with federation? Are you fighting to restore their blood by taking them back to the vomit? Or where are you how are you talking your own? Please, Ambazonians, fellow brothers and sisters, a lot of the say 419 scam manipulation they out there. They come in many shades. They come in many shades. So it's not every blue and white. Look at the one for PWD. They say then the next thing they were holding their shield that they're asking for the stadium in Bamenda. Eh? And just of a sudden, PW Bamenda start win the matches. So then I take the cup. For how many years when me and you know about the PWD? Which did they ever take up? Because they want to use you to say, oh, now the club for on our side, now they win. Oh, me on come football day. For Monday they play football, so that me on the wrong go fee. Any man where they run the go that fee, e no know say na for that same fee where they don't kill people them. Na for there they be make their fireplace. Na for there they be the rape our girl pikin them. Na for there they kill plenty people. Then you go there, go enter, say you wan go look football for place where they don't curse am. How some stranger go do can curse some place for you, then can carry you native for the place. You go to celebrate the dance on top the blood of your own pikin. Make una no make am make people share for this curse wey wey stranger don bring am for your land. E go make you unconsciously you will be, God forbid, we will not be partakers, because as we dey hear so we go be wise. Even dey say football dey for Monday, lock your door she don inside. The day go come wey you go look correct football. Even when you go sef for the field for go look the football, na how many your pikin dey play for the field? Na how many when na you go pay gate fee, give dem money, dey count am, dey carry am go for treasury, wey the money no go stay for your own treasury for Bamenda. Overnight dem must carry am cross Matazin. Una go dey get sense now. Na start dey get sense. Make we too dey get sense. Make we wisen up. So the topic for this blue and white thing for say, when you see blue and white for some place, not only jump they say, hey, na Amazon can find, whether they tell am na for waist or they tell am for head or they put am na for neck, like muffler, like cap, like wrapper, like a t-shirt. Look and fine, who wear am with me? If I see my patient wear am dey for some place, and hey, I go run go join. But some people then too, if they wear am, I go say, I go look am. So all we must get is blue and white is not equals to blue and white. We must wisen up. We must wisen up. Okay, that one go bring we gradually for the conference it don't shake place. Some people they say the conference na lie, someone they say na scamming, someone they say na Kongosai group they don't go join, someone they say na someone they say na bed by bed they don't go join. So why any man give him own name for there? Oh God, I wish when an opportunity comes like this, they say it comes by once because ASSC one be pass. There will not be ASSC one again. We can only go to ASSC two or ASSC three. The number that they change. So if you miss one, no say you missed. If you be missed the two, no say you don't miss. You can only aspire for three. And we pray say by three we go don't change the name. Mm-hmm. The
Yeah,
name
with
go
it for
don't
Buea.
yes, Mape. Just like that, the name go don't change. Thank you. So we go small, small. You be being a mommy way. I be first see you now for ASSC. Me and you self, you buy bunny fish. I buy bunny fish for the whole restaurant where my Irene be take we go there. All we be done come, we be done hungry. We don't come from our different places. Thank God say we be get small money then. But I hear some people that say they be use na Ambazonian people their money make Berlin. But Berlin conference be begin na that test for people's thirst for homeland.
Yeah.
Ma pay you be pay how much money only for say me you come into Ambazonians. We will be there close, we drive 13 hours only because we be one come for one be for demo here. Many people flew from Australia, some flew from Africa, some flew from everywhere to come South America for ASSC one. Any man be paid that money now for a pocket. The thing
Absolutely.
will belong me and say, all man pay that money out of now how I talk am for America out of waiting out of pocket.
Yeah, out of pocket, exactly.
Yeah, go now. Don't talk my own computer. Yeah, out of pocket. Now you say be pay your money. Now for there be no power I be able to. Oh manini,
Yes.
Saloyi, I not say you hear me. And then, oh, patriotic Amazonians, God go bless everyone that came to that ASSC one with a good intention, and who in the same spirit was present at ASSC two for the same purpose, for a sovereign Amazonia. God will bless this because many fell out. Many fell out just like parable of the sower. When the
Hmm.
sower is sowing the seed, some
Right.
fall on the rock, some fall on the hot earth soil, some fell on fertile soil, and I will say many fell on the fertile soil. That was why we were able to see ourselves again in ASSC 2.
Too.
Mape, I will leave it on to you for you to really highlight on ASSC 1 and drag it onto ASSC 2. What is it that you saw and heard in ASSC 1 that you were live at ASSC 2 that
Okay.
you will want to let the Amazonian people know the relevance of this sequence of 1 and 2?
Okay. So ASSC one, as you don't really explain them, was really a big, big um, uh, item, a big thing where Amazonia, this pigeon they had sometimes you find for choose the right way for talk for pigeon, it'd be difficult. It will be a big, big conference or meeting. And where people the way they know they don't know themselves, they take that leap of faith. Now leap of faith to really fly long distance or drive long distance for the first time to go meet people the way you don't really talk for them only for Zoom or for phone calls for big meeting. And that time the theme was syncretizing our master plan for restoration. We've been really missing for unite everything together so that we get that master plan for restoration. And and it really begin as say we the people therefore decide our future. So as a people, we become together. Remember, at that time there was no COVID, so people could fly, travel without any problems. And we got there. The crowd was quite impressive for a crowd where people were coming from all over the place, knowing that just few Ambazonians live in Berlin. So most people came from out of town. That was remarkable, you know, because we believed in what we're after. That passion, say you want Ambazonia, will take you anywhere. And of course, my Rachel don't really talk. Everybody be buy ticket for their pocket. Even the president, he own ticket, the commander for his other for their pocket. It didn't come out from the coffers of the government. So that tells you how people were willing to go this far to make this happen. And of course, it was a 3-day event or 4-day event where the first day was just meet and greet. The next day, we held meetings on the Friday and a Saturday. And then on Sunday, they read the resolutions, So that time, we had real breakout rooms where when the people that we meet, they go for different, of course, the Friday was the breakout rooms where people that go for different rooms, whether you go for room 1, room 2, room 3 for discuss issues. People talked, and came out with resolutions, you know, came out with resolutions. And then the following day was a general fundraising where we would talk about everything, did a fundraising. And then the last day, they read the resolutions. This time around, the project manager, Dr. Martin Mungwa, put everything in perspective. And by the way, ASSC 1 happened after ANSC 2, ANSC, where the goal for ANSC was to put down this president, to remove him from office. That's the irony. The same thing happened now, ASSC 2. We had coup plotters trying to get rid of President Sako. But the irony is that every time you come out from all of these meetings, the president gets stronger, more focused, and our goal to get our land to really reach that Buea be more firm, more able to be realized, because you get people the way they be passionate, when they don't be easily bought, they be on course to do the right thing. So this time around, because of COVID and security reasons, the project manager, Dr. Martin Munga, came up with a plan where it was virtual and it was hybrid conference where you had some people uh, on Zoom and the few people at the location. My Rachel, something that was so moving to me was, the first day after we met in that hall, in the conference room with the president, the few of us that were there, and then the president made his speech and left. The Zoom meeting continued for a long time. People continued there for the long time. But the thing that was more exciting was the next day when they started the deliberations,
The
where
committees.
Mawini, the committee's meeting. First was the Restoration Council Committee, led by Dr. Winnie Lombati. People were there for more than 12 hours, more than
Oh
12
yes,
hours.
yes.
It was unbelievable. People were determined to get the resolutions out, and they finished it. I happened to be with Mawini. We shared the same hotel, so we're together. And we were so hungry sitting there. We didn't have access to food. Let me just tell you this right now. We were there. We
Okay.
had breakfast. There was no time to go look for food anywhere. We're in the hotel, really craving for food. And then it just dawned upon us that Ma Dorotingwa lived close by. We called Ma Dorotingwa. She came around 10 p.m., brought us fufu and jamba jamba. That's what we ate that night. Thank you, Ma Dorotingwa, if you're listening. She saved us. Okay?
My patience. You
Yes.
you know what? From your narratives here, coming from ASSC 1, the Ambazonian people for this their nation, Ambazonia, they can give all. Ambazonians, die-hearted Ambazonians who really want to see Ambazonia come to the finish, can give everything and do give everything. Do you
Absolutely.
remember that in Berlin in ASSC 1, the first time there was this initiation of registering online? People had to register online from their various conferences, booking your hotels at the same time and getting your room number and the location of your hotel, and you get there
Yes.
and pay, and your keys were given to you. This was that thing that I saw so many people, so many Ambazonians. Everybody came at the reception. When you came, there were different hotels. And then the person picking you at the airport, or that directed you when you entered Germany, when you entered Berlin, they will direct you to your own hotel, because people knew where their hotels were booked and everything. You got there and paid at the counter, at the reception, I'm sorry. Then they gave your key, you went up to your room. I'm just saying what happened to most of us. That was where I saw Lady Casey, that was where I saw my patients, that's where I saw, so many other of us. This determination to say, let me see what will become of Amazonia. And this same determination was there this time for the people sitting there, my patients, for this to us. Even at my home, those of us who did it this year virtually, I sat down. When did we start that first day? 9 p.m. It was
Yes.
on, and I logged in 8:30 p.m. Amber time until 5 a.m. I crashed out on the sofa. I was snoring. My daughter came and waved. She heard from her room and came out and said, "What is going on here?" She was telling me the next day or later on. How? So what I want to say is this determination, the resilience for you people that did not even have food to eat from morning to night. You did not even think of it. Your thought was Ambazonia, the things for Ambazonia first. The things for Ambazonian first. You do not think where you could get food. This is what we are talking about. It's not the time for somebody to be jumping from room to room, complaints to complain. This one is not done. This person did this. This person did not do that. Put heads together. Two heads are better than one. Until I'm just saying
Absolutely.
this because there are many people that we journeyed together from ASSC 1 who have fallen along the side. You begin to ask yourself why.
Why? Yes.
And when you ask, like a fellow sister like Maranta that has come along and is sitting like the president, I begin to ask myself what could really be going through her mind, because I worked with her here in Europe as one of the European delegates, country coordinators. We were together here in the country and regional coordinators. We were here. We work in the cabinet together. We were here. So I cannot really see what would have really poke her so much so that she will be saying that I am not president, that I can push Amazonia. If really from the start somebody like her was for Amazonia. Because these things that have happened, people started looking at people's background. Where are you coming from? You
Yeah.
begin to have relatives that are senior workers in Sonara, some are in these places. You begin to see that, could it be that they have been all along just working for the other side and we're looking for the right time? You look at somebody like Chris Annie, whom everyone was giving the respect. At one time, you see the language started changing. The president should go, as we rightly said before. The president should go, and all this. These were people with whom we were in Berlin. You see, so you ask yourself, why are all of you in one other place and you are not doing anything progressive? Now you say you want the treasury. Okay, if you form your own government, why don't you just go and start raising your funds and persecuting the war and attacking the enemy on home front? Why do you want to turn around and be hunting this man? Yes, you said the man was not doing a good job. You come out good. You have come out. Go. Why? What is holding you again to go and call the group of Ambazonians that you have and tell them that that is not the way to go to Buea? This is my own way. We are going to Buea, and you start pursuing your way of going to Buea. Why must you resort of calling the man's name every day? He is this, he is that, and this. You want to take this. He does not own anything. Okay, it doesn't own anything. You that has come with ownership, go and start forming your own fellow Ambazonians. We are just saying this, that you should not let somebody derail you from your God ordained struggle. It's not as if everything is rosy where we are. It's not as if, but then that foundation that was laid from the teachers union to consortium to governing council to IG, that is where we are. Not that you create this, you create that, you give the opportunity for every Tom, Dick, and Harry to say, we don't know who to talk with. We don't know whom to talk to because this one has been formed, this one has been formed, this one has been formed. Okay, you people are the group of good men, good women of Ambazonia that has come out from that very bad house. Please start doing something that Ambazonians will really see that you are doing it for the mercy of homeland, and not to sit in front and start wasting time. Then your next language will be Sako is doing this. People are dying on home front. What are you doing that people should not die on home front? That is what we are asking. Don't ask what the nation is doing for you. Ask what you are doing for your nation. This is what we should be looking at. So when we talk of ASSC 1 and ASSC 2, my patients, many resolutions have come out from this ASSC 2. You remember APP came out from ASSC 1 in
ASSC one.
Berlin.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this APP that whether you were disgruntled, whether you were wrong, whether you were bitter, you will go to your LGA, raise your own money, raise your own farmers, buy tools for your own farmers, and direct them towards your because you people said they had the first money that you people gave. The man said yes. Okay, if that was the case, I am sorry. Now take the power, go to your LGAs, go and clothe your own, feed them, raise them. What is stopping you from not going to your LGA and go and do it like that? You go and you are
Marriage.
conniving and forming small groups and setting confusion everywhere and giving the enemy the power to say we don't have who to talk to. Mappy, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Let me. Yeah, we're just going to go through some highlights in terms of the resolutions or uh, for both ASSC 1 and 2. So for ASSC 1, the main outcome from ASSC 1, as you already said, was uh, empowering the functional status of the interim government. With the leading one was Amber Peace Plan, defending your county LGA by LGA. That was the main big win for ASSC 1. And also, we also had accountability and transparency uh, as a resolution from that conference. Strengthening and building strong institutions. There was a cabinet reshuffle, of course, and enlarging the Restoration Council to include LGAs and counties. That was important in ASC 1. But now, ASC 2, I just want to read a few things before I go to the core resolutions, just briefly, uh, which is very important. We, the people of Amazonia, represented by delegates from 13 counties and 61 LGAs, uh, of the former British Southern Cameroons, Ambazonia, and other stakeholders meeting in Washington, D.C., USA, and virtually via Zoom platform from the 10th to the 13th of March 2022, constituted in this General Assembly, referred to as the Constituent General Assembly, CGA, of the 2022 Ambazonian Stakeholders Strategic Conference, ASSC2, Washington, D.C., United States of America, resolved as follows. I want to read these 4 points. Reiterate and maintain our unflinching support of the interim government led by His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, as the legitimate representative leadership structure of the people of Ambazonia as empowered in ASSC Berlin 2019. Number two, condemn the condemn the detestable actions by some disgruntled Ambazonians who recently resorted to destabilizing our interim structures by hijacking the People's Assembly, the Restoration Council, and using it as a launch pad to achieve their ulterior political motives. Number three, unanimously rebuke the dishonorable actions by the leadership of the Restoration Council under Mr. Elvis Cometa and cohorts, including blatantly constitutional, including blatantly breaching constitutionality in a desperate attempt to destabilize the executive branch of government, thus slowing the gains achieved thus far in our liberation quest. And number four, appeal to all Ambazonians, especially those who have been manipulated to make wrong decisions or hold false opinions on the level of the commitment of this interim government, to rejoin the ranks of true patriots as we continue our liberation quest as a collective, determined people. So that those 4 points are very important. And then we know that the main changes were made on empowering the interim structures by grassroots representation, where the name of the quasi-legislative structure of the IGE, the Restoration Council, was changed to the Interim House of Representatives. Just want to make that one point. We're not going to go through all this because I'm sure there's going to be another show where they're going to go through all of this detailing, or they may have already done so.
Yes, Mape, they will go because when I'm looking up, I don't know, I can't hear you.
I stopped speaking.
Okay, yeah, the point is, Mape, ASSC is Ambazonia Stakeholders Strategic Conference. As you rightly said, ASSC 1, that was where they said we were going to put our structures. Let me just put it in plain, simple, ground, down to earth, laying strong foundations or laying a hold on our structures. That is where you saw the defunct Restoration Council was then um, um, re-energized. It was not extended with extension from the APP, planned APP with representatives from the LGA. The Fund Restoration Council was then cemented and solidified. We see the cabinet was further intensified, it was enlarged, more people came into the scene. As Ma Irene we put it, more people, more delegates. That's where we have the financial resources are also high because of people in places of responsibility to whom much is given, much is expected. And the judiciary was equally put in place. The ethics committee was appointed and effectively, no, they were already in existence, but then after ASSC 1, they became stronger. And the treasury also, that was where from the resolutions empowering our our structures, the
Mhm.
treasury now requested representatives from every LGA to be sent, or every county to be sent into the treasury board. This is something that many counties neglected, which in ASSC2 we have also really, it has really been reiterated, it has been re-emphasized and highlighted that people should take this seriously. As from now on, the new treasury that will be coming up, this is what is required of us. And another office that was really strengthened for ASCC1, that was the resource mobilization patients. You know, the
Mhm.
resource mobilization, the source of milk and honey, you know where money is coming. When they block your money, you are frozen, you cannot do anything. You know, when there's any war, any punishment, they start by freezing. They say they freeze your account. You see, that is
Right.
where the first account started. This one woman, you know, the first attack on resource mobilization started in 2020 during the humanitarian draft, the HSS humanitarian draft. That was the first place that I saw this coup starting. It was there when I'll always call their name because they're always fresh in my mind, no matter what. That's where ex Vice President Abunga came and joined Dr. Tita. The whole HSS humanitarian HSF draft was converted to humanitarian draft, and that was where the whole money that was drafted for HSS that year, there was no after draft meeting. I was there sitting like one of the directorates in that department. I did not. There was no meeting. How the 40 something thousand that was raised for HSS that year, there was no meeting. And before then, they sidelined Ma Joe and Ma Irene and Nijo. Joe and Ma Irene did not were not the ones that drafted the humanitarian for HSS in 2020. I was
Mhm.
asking the question, how come Erin has gone through the counties with Nijo, and they have drafted and drafted the super draft thereafter and had already drafted ABC. What is wrong that Erin and Nijo? And it was on that platform that Marianta and Prince Jacob, they were the people who drafted HSS in 2020. I was sitting there as a directorate that has been struggling in that department to feed the prisoners, to feed the refugees after the former HSS chair, uh, uh, um, SOS Khalej and the rest, they left with the other money. We were there, no money, we've been struggling, and the only official fundraising came. That was where Dr. Tita and himself and ex-vice president Abongwa, they were the people who controlled that draft with Marianta, with Jacob. So if you look at it, the same people happen to have fallen to the same side. What argument that if you put two and two together, you ask yourself that what was it that was cooking at that time that they strategically sidelined Nijo and Ma Irene not to draft. That was where they were those some of those background work started. Before you knew it, they metamorphosed to forming one funny group that unmasked. Okay, the president intended it good from the beginning, that, but he didn't know that the people he was already working with had their own side plan. They used it now to manipulate the people over a year and a half. On mass, people did not sleep. And where is it today? Only for them were planning their own government. So what I'm trying to say is that when we came from ASSC with strong institutions to have their pillar, that is, some people were already working to crumble this institution. And resource mobilization, Ma Irene's office and Nijo, it was attacked. And even when Chris Andrew started his campaign for things to be destroyed, he started with the powerhouse, resource mobilization, and they infected and they went right to the treasury. They placed their net there. They had their network inside to make sure that when their coup will be materialized, they will think that they have the absolute power to the powerhouse. But little did they know that this struggle is God ordained and He places people at the right places. So the ASSC tool now has come. One thing that was also done in ASSC1 MAP patients was the formation of the women's department. And in ASSC2, the women's department also was solidified, was written in the interim constitution, because then they were just I think the 7 of them, but the women have been working since 2019, and and the success for that department is for this constitution. It was inscribed in it. So when we are talking about this ASSC 1 to ASSC 2, what it has brought to the people, that defunct Restoration Council, where the infested maggots penetrated their way to and really infected some people inside that honorable house. Huh. Thank God for APP that brought representatives from the different LGAs. So I don't know where we could have been. The people saw that things were not going the way they were supposed to be in the house of, in the, let me call it, Restoration Council then. But ASSC2 to has amputated, has just amputated that virus that affected that part of that leg, of that branch. And they now say before we re-emerge, the new name for it is the Interim House of Representatives. Interim because those who will be going there is just as interim as our government till we reach Buea. And then it's a House of Representatives, people who go there to represent you and I, not representing themselves, not representing one group, not representing some special interest of some people, not even representing the enemies, but representing you and I, interim House of Reps, of Representatives. And very soon every LGA will be voting their reps. So if you belong to an LGA and you support this interim government that says go and vote people from your LGA and send them, vet them yourself, know them yourself. Don't just pick anybody that will not speak for you, or anybody that will go and talk for themselves and begin to cook up story that, hey, wait first, wait, maybe Chris Arnold wait with the rally people the way they go support you. We don't want that kind of people. We want people that will be able to say, this thing has a reason. What can we do about it? People who will be discussing matters and not people. This is the
Yeah.
House of Representatives that has come. The name has changed. Oh, it's no longer Restoration Council, Interim House of Reps. Ambazonian, me una here fine. You are sending representatives there. We have already restored our country. Mape, you
Yes.
have, ASSC gave us energy. It is so
It-
flowing. Take
yes.
it.
Let me just follow with
Yeah.
this. Follow with the line that you're going on, talking about the interim House of Representative. So it is true that any thing that comes up using the word restoration is no longer valid. So we've restored our independence. So if somebody is coming up with something calling it restoration, it doesn't make sense anymore. So that's why we now have the interim House of Representative. And Maya Richard, you already said that people have to send in their candidates. They already have some very uh, strict requirements that people cannot just go behind. People that are candidates with people that have already paid their 2020 draft, you must have paid your 2020 draft. You must have at least finished half of your 2021 draft. Ideally, it would be best to finish it completely, and you must be CID compliant, you know. So uh, you must be loyal and committed member of your LGA. So you cannot see somebody who will just suddenly appear now that you never saw the person in 2020, 2021, just appear to be a House of Representative. No, it will not work. The people will know who they are because these people have been there from the get-go. Um, you must be an aspiring candidate. Aspiring candidates must have read and understood the interim constitution of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, and aspiring candidates must not hold any executive position or responsibility of the LGA county level or federal level. So the guidelines are already there, and I think every LGA is working hard to get the right representative to the House of Assembly. So again, the word Restoration Council soon it's not going to be in our vocabulary anymore. And if you are in any structure that is using the word restoration, then they don't know what is going on. Um, and so we want our people to understand all these changes. Um, Mauricio, you said something about the fact that I was taking a look. I was looking at the pictures of the crowd, those who were there in Berlin, and those who have fallen along the wayside. And you were asking the question whether you wonder whether those people were not really standing for the blue and white flag from the get go. There are really uh, three possibilities. I think that most people that really spend money and travel to Berlin are really in their gut at that time wanted to go to Buea. They wanted us to have Buea where we have our red, our white and blue flag, where we have our independence, where we are called Ambazonians. Sometime along the way, something has happened to some of those people. Um, La Republique has gotten to a lot of people. That is a known fact. France and La Republique has gotten to a lot of people. And some of these people have relations in La Republique. So they're also getting input from their relations or relatives, pulling them, say, why don't you do things this way? So it's not surprising that some of those people that were with us in Berlin are what we consider coup plotters or have outright just left the struggle. But only a few will take you there. Only a few will take you there. My Rachel, you're more versed in the Word of God than I am, but I think I remember something small where uh, when the people of Israelites they were trying to fight against I don't know what nation was that, what country was that, and God needed only a few military, only a few of them. There were first so many thousand army, and then it was reduced to
Oh,
400. Then was
Gideon.
finally reduced to 7, if I remember
It's
correctly.
Gideon.
Yeah,
Yes,
Gideon.
my
So only
favorite.
those few were able to defeat
Yeah.
the enemy. So it's the same thing. We started with millions and millions. I'm just exaggerating, and they are falling along the wayside. And we'll get to our destination with a few committed, and that's what will make our nation a great nation. So we should not be worried about all these people that are going on the falling on the wayside. They want to end up in Yaoundé. That's their choice. Those of us who want to get to Buea, we will stay the course and we'll get to Buea. We'll get to Ambazonia that has its capital as Buea. That is our final destination.
My patience, the thing is that our people do not realize that they are dealing with a perpetual enemy here, that this opportunity, this light that that is that has shown itself at the end of the tunnel is for everyone to run and get out of that tunnel and be in the open and get our sovereignty and go forward. Look at um what just happened. Did you watch one video that circulated the social media a few days ago? This is a quarter in La Republique in Douala. This area is supposed to have been a swampy area, and when people use this method to reclaim land, you have to buy
Mhm.
enough sand to reclaim that land and to build. Many people have constructed, bought plots of land, built houses. They've been there for more than 20, 30, 40 years in that locality. And most of them, they are born Ambazonians. They have churches, they have mosques, they have markets, they have schools in that locality. One morning, the owners of their land just came and used their caterpillars, break down houses, not even break, demolished the that neighborhood. You could see mothers, fathers saying that they've been here for 25 years. They have their children here, they have their businesses, they have the schools. Everything was razed to the ground as if they threw a bomb. There was no difference. And all of the people, most of the people that came out to even talk, there were people from from Amazonia. Many who have left. And some were saying that they said that they were going to give us transport. Even if they give you transport fare, to
We're going to go
where?
to. Mhm.
Where are you going to go to? In your own place, they are destroying the homes. in their own place that you, one mama was saying that wetin I go do with the IDPs the way they run the camp for me, they don broke the house so all will be the stay there. Hello, is it that you do not have your own homeland because of this mental slavery? Na our own area na e fine. They made you to know that na Douala fine, Kumba no fine, Kosala no fine, Mbonge no fine, Ngokitunje no fine, Babesi no fine, Nwa no fine, Ndu no fine, Akoko to dede, Kumbo you no fit go, Mbengu you no fit stay there, hey, nothing no dede. They make you to say Akoya no fine, then na for far away, you carry your money, you go na for city. This opportunity has come. Why can't we just be at home? Even for the white man country where we did it, people they dey for their local government area. Everything dey there. You get school, you get supermarket, you get hospital, you get bank, you get post office. No place not there in a village. When you say the place na village, because you get mayor for there, you get DO for there, you get everything where they there. It meet up people place. If
Absolutely.
you decide to work and go for some other place, it's your choice. And this is what we are also saying, that Ambazonia is going to be structured that way with LGA by LGA, where you have your own things in your locality. Universities will come and meet you at home. Why don't we all stand up and fight for this homeland for posterity? We no hate, I don't feel say person hate La Republic, because it is a right for every nation to be on their own and fight for what they want to keep for themselves. Ambazonians, you should fight for your own nation and keep your own things for yourself. Why go out to be some cool plotter and say, "Na me I bring the deal"? How can you be fighting against somebody and you are going to be making deal with the person to bring the deal? So when we are talking about ASSC 1 and ASSC 2, it is something that is really moving. You know, they say change, evolution, innovation, change is that thing that is permanent. It is always going from one stage to the other. And this is where we came from Berlin with that resilience, that determination to move on. People spent money from their pockets to get to Berlin and to put the things in place. Even today, people contributed out of pocket to this circumference and are ready to go back and start working. Please, if you are in that group that they call coup plotters camp, or you are just deceiving the people that you are fighting for Amazonia, but you are taking them back to the enemy, please stop. Stop. And don't be using the propaganda where that and what people that they die. Yes, people are dying. People must die if only the enemy gives room. The enemy within gives room for the outside enemy to penetrate and destroy. Black man, when I get to wake up, gradually we are gliding to the point of what the people see that is happening, even in Ukraine. Kenyans, they no run. So before
Yeah.
one the round topic for ASSC one map, maybe one and two, maybe you still get something to add. It's going to be a topic that we will be talking every time, because there are so many resolutions that we'll get to break and down small, small, small. Me all man for home front. May understand say na so they decide, so that if he see another person they behave another way, he go ask and say, but they be talk say for home front na so we get to do. So you feel know what you for do. So
Well, say
go ahead.
during the deliberations, people they will always come up with suggestion. Dr. Epote did a fantastic job with the Amber Peace Plan section of it, and you said we'll make time for go through it one by one. Um, but something where was just a suggestion in terms of how to continue. I think say uh, we get for start be more focused for this way journey. I think say time don't come. Even the president will make a comment about it. Time don't come where we get for exit some this fora them where they be more distraction. You know, you get that common sense say if you deal for some motor, you deal with passengers them. Some passengers they want go they so we will all enter motor one time, you know, and then driver get for decide how for go. Some of them say no, take me go Yaoundé. Somebody say no, take me go Buea. That driver no go, you know if he work, you know if he come for that place because he don't know which direction for go. Yaoundé and Buea, they did different directions. So when I dey inside the same motor, some of them say, oh, I won't go na for Buea, I won't go for Buea. We don't pay money for go Buea. So they say, oh no, we don't pay money for go na Yaoundé. The driver will be confused. The reason I give this example, and I say, we there for some houses, them of a forum, they will get people the way they get different ideologies. You know, may we use the next few days for just sort things out where some of us will get for just exit this forum them. You know, when you're there for some forum, we get plenty people where they be distractive. Just come out, just exit the forum. You know, that's my take home message right now. I'll make some small, write some small things and share them with people there. We just get for exit that forum so that we feel focused. Because the time we are the waste time, read some of their things will be uh, nonsense. Well, be forced to reply when it need to make any difference to me. That time we have to do something for benefit my people there for Ambazonia. That time I feel make some one call even for salute some person or make some phone call for get money for give somebody. But I would waste time for these people then. So time don't reach for we for exit all these forum them. Or if we get the people the way they did it when they be destabilizing, we remove them from the forum. So we were there for forum them when only we, you know, the good news now say if they there for their own forum, when their only goal now for take for go Buea, when they know they goal for the antagonize or send bad news about Dr. Sako here and there, then there's no worries. We don't have anything to worry about. They go to go Buea, which to go Buea. Maybe it will make the journey shorter because they're going to do some things for advance, which to do one thing them. But if you go for some place where they don't really want go Buea, I don't give this example. Now two ways for go Buea. One way of go Buea where you will get federation because Buea now still the capital for that federal state. But we want go Buea where we not get anything to do with federation, where we don't get with independence, where we own our land, we make our own choices. Remember, for the back of una mind, France, they don't sign this accord deal agreement with La République for 1959 in the days of Ahijo. If you don't sign this deal, say they go control most things for La République du Cameroon. So whether we be in a federation or na waiting or under special status or whether France go control our educational system, our social system, all our industries, you know, we get all these resources. Now, for they were their idea, these resources, nothing more. But if we get we own land, we stay as an independent Southern Cameroons, Ambazonian, nothing to do with La Republic, then France no get any hold on us. May we always keep that in the back of our mind. Because all these coup plotters, they want, whether they don't tire enough or tire on a witty, or they be confused by family members and what they did uh, for their own for La République du Cameroon, they want sell us short. We're not going to accept. So when we leave all this for them with a distraction, we focus. You know, we get with this year 6 months always October, November, December, January, February, March. Thank God so we don't do ASSC too for put things back together. Otherwise, we don't do a lot of waste. Now time for focus. When we start for April, we'll just give ourselves some 10 days for just calm down. When we start April, we will be focused on ground zero. We not going to talk anything about coup plotters again. I mean, I hope they don't do anything for make us talk about them. May we focus on ground zero and get home faster for the sake of
Mape,
our. Yes, my dear.
the thing I say, since the days of John the Baptist, the kingdom, even God the kingdom, they suffer violence. Now only when you be violence before you dey take over. And when you now when now that time when you dey hear your voice, Na that time wey dem dey hear you say, you remember for 2021 when every place be dey hot before dem wan even turn go use that their strategic means for kidnap General No Pity parents, so that make dem morally bring down the pikin. After dem don go suffer, dem don achieve their aims, dem feel say General No Pity don do their work for dem. Dem don just majestically carry the family put am for place wey dem fit put am now. So all these things, when you dey see am wey the enemy dey use the same tactics every time, you too get to change. E be very sad say La Republic wey many people don stay with them, wey we don stay with them for this long time, na our brothers and na our sister dem, the thing dey can't end up this way. You don be with person every time you know say na you be papa for this pikin, na you be mommy for this pikin, and then one day you just wake up tell the pikin for your face say, or the pikin dey happy say na my papa this, na my mommy this, only for you for you wake up you dey announce yourself say I no be your papa, I no be your mommy. You know, e get wetin wey e dey tell on the people around, whether no be you know, La Republic, all we be know say na our papa na our mommy. Then time wey we wan dey talk say papa my head dey ache, you say comot for here. Papa the school wey I dey go, e need talk the same language wey dem be used to talk, shut up. Papa I don read am for book say that place wey dem build that house dey so, na the place wey my mommy bin leave am, my own mommy wey born me bin leave am for me. You say you don know, take hammer for your head, boom, make you no talk. Then your pikin and your cousin dem dey say as dem knack your head, instead for dem for hala say oh why you knack the head, instead talk say knack the head fine, wetin you wan talk. Na the thing that way, if you be na person wey you be bona fide Ambazonian, you dey deny the history, you are distorting the history of former British Southern Cameroons wey we don decide aka Ambazonia this time. If you be na that person, know say na you wey you don see am wey dey gush your mommy throat open, you run go find colass, you give say no, why na only the neck, cut the head, cut am. Know say na the thing na wey you dey do. If you don turn go you for them, you don go take small money, then instead for you for kind talk say it is right for us to go to Ambazonia, then you start to say, see this person wey be say wan go Ambazonia na thief man, because we be dey see am for small pikin cartoon that time for Nigeria, wey some book dem be dey comot, that small cartoon books dem wey once dem be say dem just shout for Nigeria say ole, thief man, dem no even think say na true say thief, any man don just comot with plan wey dem don put nail
Mm.
for there, dem just knack your head there, you just die.
Wow.
And sometimes too for Bamenda dem don dey do this same thing wey when dem just say thief man o for market, people dem be dey comot with plan, any man just dey knack the person, the thief man head. Dem don be even dey look am for ask am say wetin thief, who be the person wey shout say na thief man? Maybe na you sef be the thief man, now you wake up you start shout say thief man o, you start point to person wey dey for front. As every person dey run say thief man o, you now dey pick you say na you be the thief man. Na the same tactics wey we are Ambazonian, the way the correct thief want dem, na dem don come enter the thief, as dem know how for thief, so that make dem no catch dem, dem start dey point that one say na you be thief man, that one na thief man, that one na thief man. Okay, you wey you be good man, una don group una sef, I repeat this statement, una don group una sef like una 20 holy honest people, abeg make una do am quick, make una do am quick, hurry up, leave this thief man with the thief group dem, leave me, no judge the matter, holy people, constructive people, una dey una name dem hand dem so Elvis Kometa dem, Chris Ajua dem, Sango Louis dem, Reverend Ginny dem wey dey for Defund Restoration Council, all of them with Bruno Atiabe, All this restoration council, important people will not be tea people there. May una go fix this Ambazonian. And then with Dorothy Jato, they make all them they go fix them, leave this thing. And then una wanna come out for LGA, they will not really carry money, patching and then so una come out with Jackson Omeng them with the one them for all the other LGA the way me no no. Me una gather una self, una fix them fix them. Then plus Reverend Son will be there for women's department for very long time with us, where he dey for there with Marianta now when na president, with Jessica Day will be there for HSS, with make dem fix am. Because if you dey only call some person then say na the person, then you say you need move for the place where you should don, it not be good thing, not be good thing. Before you wan show something, show yourself approved in one that needs not to be. I no wan go for that side. Man leave that side now when I dey for prayer mountain.
Yeah.
Ah, God.
It looks like we go for the end small time, but I want to talk some small thing quickly before you round up. Say,
Yes,
we
Marco.
don't get some message say, um, the some people then their CIDB signed now by Marianta when they pay their CID, and it just probably just happened this 1 month or so. So the I think the Ma Erin and Ma Victor they would go on soon to talk about this. But I just say people the way they don't do and so when they not be intensive maybe Marianta they take their money. They feel go ahead go for their banks demand me the money be refunded, and they feel sue Marianta them for taking their money because that was an illegal deal. But I think the government has a plan on how to take care of it. So when I not fear, if people they not go raise their own money, that's their own problem. So we go stay focused. We go raise our own money, take care of ground zero, take care of home front. So as we conclude, I just talk my bye bye now because my reach go end small. I want just say, um, the road be long, and when you don't start a journey, you know see the road long. You go take all the necessities, everything that wey you need them for go on that journey. Uh, whether na money, whether na your integrity, whether na your stamina, everything that you need, knowing that the journey being a long journey. You dey waka one step forward, one step forward, one step forward, one step forward. As you dey go, you dey leave the distance wey dey for back, e dey be longer. The distance wey you be going to the place we wan arrive, e go dey shorten. And then finally you go reach your destination. So may we no be discouraged. All these things that they don't happen along the way, especially most recently with the coup plotting. Now God a plan for weed out the people that would, if we go Buea with them, there will be a problem. Now we build better institutions. When we get for one conference to the next conference, our institution they be stronger. So that it no matter who lead us eventually, because President Sako na the president, unless it do something where it be unbelievable, where we get for condemn am, it go be the president till we reach for Buea. That's what constitution talk. If it vex people say they not get only one president be president, why does it matter? As long as he's doing the job to get us to Buea, why does it matter? So if we get down for we head, say now struggle for get to a particular place, not be a democracy where you can forget election every so many months or whatever years, then you realize say everybody get a part to play. If you're an LGA chair or county chair or members of any LGA where you want to work with an LGA to get us to where now we own part that. If you will be now a member of the new House of Representative, House of Assembly, now your own part that. If you be a cabinet member or in the office of the president, now your own part that. So do your own part. You do for ground, for home front, you do take care of our restoration forces. Now your own part that. And then our restoration forces that they fight, now their own part that. Everybody do your own part wholeheartedly, we'll get there sooner than later. So I want just thank una plenty. I'd always appreciate everybody for home front, because again, the ultimate sacrifice come from Mona. But then we know what we are fighting for. We're fighting for an Amazonia where, whether you stay now uh for Batibo, or you stay for somewhere in Buea area there, or you stay for Moliko, or you stay for Kwakwa, we now get everything, the structures, the schools, the hospitals, everything to live a fulfilled life. We're not going to drive from one part of the world to the other part to get waiting, because your kids, your picking will get all the opportunities where every other picking get them. Now the Ambazonia that we fight for. Thank you so much for having us here today, and see you next time. Ma Rachel, over to you.
Yes, Mape, thank you very much, Mape, for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians and friends and well wishers. We start tell una say blue and white. If you see blue and white for some place, look and find. Not just see blue and white, you wrong go there. And if you consider yourself bona fide blue and white, you reach for some place, then they agree talk thing way it concern blue and white. Put your hand up, ask question. Make them not take blue and white full we, pacify we. And then we too reach for some place where they pretend say they gather in the name of blue and white. Then we not hear anything concerning blue and white. Then we not ask question. Then it could be say we don't be partaker, we don't be accomplice for that plot. So now why that way we dey talk say coup plotters, because we see an interim government wey dey go on very fine with Dr. Sako. Popcorn that dey pop everywhere. International community they don start dey talk about we. Ambazonian, ASS, Team ACT don dey talk. HD for Switzerland don dey talk about we. Everything is going in order. Some people just wake up say the government don tire. Una go ask that person that kind question say, na you be tire or na who tire? Because even as we dey now, so we no even just tire never even reach for our dictionary. Then you wan see from one step to the other, the language for the person dey change. Come, you bring case, they never finish judge the case. You don just say no. They gather people say me dey judge the case. You say no, I no want many people dey judge the case. I wan carry am go na for this side. When you see person change waka on stable waters, be careful, Ambazonians. May we be very, very careful. Because sometimes the be not be who wey dey over talk the shout na it dey for the whole thing. Listen to what way the person dey talk, and be with the person for some time. Hear if the person dey steady. The thing dey just be somehow na say intelligent Ambazonia dem lie with the two take into lies and gossip very fast. And when we dey try for say no, it is not all that glitters that is gold. Listen, they say look before you leap. Don't just fall into it, because many Ambazonians they don't go put their head for two way they not even know. Make person not take blue and white deceive una. Make person not Ambazonian name deceive una. Look what way the person they do with that Ambazonian name. Where does he go to? Where is he coming from? I'm so saddened in my heart because I know many men and women that are supposed to be men of reasoning, women of integrity and valor, that they have just decided to fall on the wayside. Please start now. Why that way LGA day? Start for your LGA. Go for your LGA. Find your brothers and your sisters the way you know them. Go for your LGA. Begin the work. They gather the small small tools for your people. Comrade Willie talk on that other day. He said there is no joint something anywhere. Make everybody go for LGA. Know as you go wear clothes for a farmers. Know as you go buy hoe and colas. Give them. Know as you go buy cocoa and plantain stock. Give them how they go plant them in due season. I no fit just comot go enter for Akwaya say I wan do am for there. Na Akwaya dey go do am. I no fit go for Alaw say I wan go do am. No, I no fit go for inside Isangele for Bekura. I no fit go for Toko. Na the people dem for there dey get to wake up, sow the seed as they wan protect homeland. Because if one is being liberated, the other should be. The same thing will come again. We'll talk about the ASSC 1 and 2. Amazonians raise up, pay their flights, pay their hotel bills, pay their food in ASSC 1. The same thing, the same spirit of resilience and determination was carried into ASSC 2. And then the same people, they stood up to uphold the structures of Ambazonia, that no canker worm, palmer worm, no caterpillars and lizards will come into and eat us up. We have to rise up. That is why you have the interim House of Representatives. It is no longer ground zero, it is home front. Home front because na for there it dey happen. Home front, we are at home. It's not ground zero where it doesn't exist. It exists. There's a place of existence. Home front. That's why we call it now home front. And there are many other appellations that have been restructured that we are getting. We will be used to them in due time. And self-defense. Self-defense is also the thing. Very important department. All
Mhm.
of our farmers, let nobody come and deceive you from your farm. That drop your farm tools and come. Papa, mommy, sister, you dey go back na for that place where dem dey rape you, dey kill you for there. Dat one na the self defence office dem say sef go come talk am, and we like mami dem too, we go come talk again next week concerning this self defence new name. And one thing I wan tell una na say exclusive discussion dey come up immediately after. Na make una no go. Exclusive discussion dey come. For there una go get some other thing dem wey big room dey, small room dey. So we dey calm our own for smaller room, bigger room dey calm. There's nothing, and small room get im importance. Na for there you dey go put your waste. Na for there you dey go take your shower. Na for there you dey store chop, your small store. Store no big like parlour, e small, then na power house. So na we be small room, big room dey calm, exclusive dialogue, and many other things dem wey dey go dey come on within the week. Fellow Ambazonians, keep your ABC alive, pay your ABC support, complete your draft, make this IG proud, make the people on home front proud, make dem know say dem get people wey dey wan go na Buea independence, no be lie corner back talk say me she don quiet with the rally people dem for your back. Dat one na which kind talk? Dat na Congo side, na backstabbing dat. Make Ambazonia, make dem no fool una, make una go fall for dat kind trap. Say dis one woman dey come talk now. Dis one woman dey come small time, e go tell una how wey dem wan manipulate dat money dem wey dey go come tell una no fit talk and no dey work for their office. And woman dem, una get to start stand up for prayers. Una get to start stand up for una women's department as well. Dat one small time we go call meeting and we dey appeal to every woman wey e be dey for ASSC too, may e at ten d, so that many things dem dey go from dis conference. We go continue to talk how we wan move homeland forward. It is not a crime to fight, it is a human right to stand up for the right of your people. Don't abandon your own, for nobody will stand up for you. See white man dem don stand for Ukraine wey dem dey kill their people dem. We dey appeal say black race, stand up for your own people. Next week we go still come with dis topic for can throw more light, for tell our people dem say there's nothing wrong in you standing up for your race. There's nothing wrong for you standing up for your nation. We thank everybody that made this program a success. I wan talk am for German say we thank everybody that made this send. I wan talk na say send, which is session. This. So we thank everybody that made it a success, and we pray that we'll continue to meet with us, rub minds. From next week, we will start having our telephone number on the screen, so you will be able to call and intervene and ask questions and give ideas and opinions. For one is together with everyone for the Ambazonia we are fighting for. Have a blessed evening, a blessed weekend. Sit down tight for exclusive discussion. It has been my patience and my Rachel, your host. Thank you very much. We love you. Mm. Don't forget we. Yes, since say dem no wan take we make we comot for screen, we no dey ever lack thing for talk. We fit just begin dey talk sotey dey can't take we comot for dis screen now, so you no find say make she don quiet. Yes, the thing wey we dey appeal for Ambazonian pipu dem na say any fake news wey una dey hear for plenty plenty audio wey coup plotters dem dey try for spoil pipu their name, dey try for gossip pipu their name, make una no begin hear all those things, because thing wey ear no hear belle no dey spoil. You see, thing wey ear no hear belle no dey spoil, because some people dey just dey out here, dey decide for take people's private life, dey put am out there, dey decide for frame stories about people dem, dey think say e go a very long way. You see, like the one way even the former leader for the defunct house, he be talk some kind of disgusting kind of language wey if e be for really be na some person wey e get integrity in himself, e be for step down, say they don hear say my mom talk this kind talk, you know. But because we just take this thing wey we dey do am like joke, na why that way everybody dey just do wetin wey dey feel say dem will do. But we have declared it is a God ordained revolution. It's a God ordained struggle. So anything wey any of us dey do, one day we will stand up, either in this life or in the life to come. We go stand up for pay for anything wey we dey do. And I don used to tell Ambazonians, dey say maybe this is an opportunity for us to make heaven, that they will ask you that what did you do with your life? Wetin you be do with the opportunity wey dem be give you for stand for justice? Did you say that una thing? Did you lie that Southern Cameroon never had its independence, was never voted into independence? Did you support the fact that La Republique gave the people of Southern Cameroon we and yes? Were you the one that topple your friend in government, did coup d'etat to remove Buea from office? Were you the one that planned different conferences to suppress the other people to step out from the God ordained struggle? Many questions, and they, I'm not God, but from the history, the way we don't read them, we dey see and say even Napoleon Bonaparte, wey be get all things for this world, before he one die, he be say make the boss e coffin, put the hand for outside. They say why? Because say he put him hand say me wey be get all thing o, na me this I don die, I dey go empty hand, I no take anything to go with am. So you when you think say you dey call say this one cocoa na me I be go bring the na this and that, you dey destroy the people their name. Like someone dem take my picture go put am for many places dem wey they wan make case for themselves. You know, all those things doesn't take you anywhere. If this is the calling God has given me, I continue talk on it. So be it. So so Ambazonians them, until we go learn for no say God is calling us all to do something for posterity. Um and if you know the do am, you go know say you not get peace of mind. You need not to be told that even within you, you don't have peace of mind for yourself. Do the right things and set your records right before man and God, before it is too late. This is all what I have to say. Thank you.
Master Robusta on the beat. Chum chuma, 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 chum chuma. Gaila, fai coma. Oinge niti e quasi lunga. Gaila, just coma. Oinge niti e bui lunga. Gaila, uki coma. Oinge niti e buni lunga. Gaila, wain coma. Oinge niti e buni lunga. Chum chuma, 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 chum chuma. Kom kuda veteran, ina nikiti, ina bana wain koma, ichema wain koma,